I'm the secret you wanna keep. You're the best kind of hide and seek. Undercover we find release, release. We don't have to run away, 'cause they'll never find us. So I'll show you all of me. Every time we touch, when you hold me close, it feels like I'm bare to the bone. Nobody needs to know. You leave me completely exposed. Tell me you love what you see, and I'll let my armor lay down at your feet. Just when I need it the most, you leave me completely exposed. Completely exposed. You're stripping me down to my soul. You leave me completely exposed. When it all starts to weigh on me, yeah, your lips are my remedy. In the shadows we find me free. We're free. Completely exposed. Tell me you love what you see, and I'll let my armor lay down at your feet. Just when I need it the most, you leave me completely exposed. Completely exposed. You're stripping me down to my soul. You leave me completely exposed. You're stripping me down to my soul. You leave me completely exposed.
Those incredible days, why did I hurt you now? You now. Everything is lost, a bridge I've never crossed, never crossed. I am S-O-R-R-Y. I am S-O-R-R-Y. I am S-O-R-R-Y. I am S-O-R-R-Y. Why?
Something must be wrong with my brain. Like a poison I've never drained. Haven't you so bad if you're there? Hold me tight and love me, baby. I wanna make you feel confused. What do you think when I shake you, baby? I wanna lead you, I wanna choose. What do you think when I shake you, baby? I wanna make you feel confused. What do you think when I shake you, baby? I wanna lead you, I wanna choose. What do you think when I shake you, baby? Something must be wrong with my brain. A fire side I've never overcame. Or can you feel it deep into your veins? Hold me tight and love me, baby. I wanna make you feel confused. What do you think when I shake you, baby? I wanna lead you, I wanna choose. What do you think when I shake you, baby? Something must be wrong with my brain. Like a poison I've never drained. Haven't you so bad if you're there? Hold me tight and love me, baby. I wanna make you feel confused. What do you think when I shake you, baby? I wanna lead you, I wanna choose. What do you think when I shake you, baby? Something must be wrong with my brain. Like a poison I've never tried. I want you so bad if you dare. Hold me tight and love me, baby. I know if we could that we would run away, but we'd only get halfway. 'Cause between us there's all of this space. We'll try before the ink runs dry. With pages that we both rewrite. Keep moving on without a time. Oh, oh, oh. There is a line. We're so close but still so far. Never collide. And it's tearing us apart. If I We got nothing to lose, just me and you, me and you. No one else, just us two. It's me and you, me and you. We got nothing to lose, just me and you, me and you. No one else, just us two. It's me and you, me and you. We got nothing to lose, just me and you, me and you. No one else, just us two. It's me and you, me and you.
We pull up, wake the crew up, on back street out. Oh, we love that sound, yeah. We ain't waiting for a moment, and we all said, yeah, we all said we leave this town. 2 a.m. we're back downtown again, running with the bass too loud. Oh, we might go and run our miles again, low-key trying to burn it down. You just follow all that shade. We get low, but we ain't low late. You just follow all that shade. We get low. Don't keep me holding on. Tide is changing. Take your lead. Don't keep me holding on. My heart is wasting on my knees.
Front to the back. Jump on a jump on a. Front to the back. Jump on a jump on a.
We make the bass shake. This one here will make your face change. You feel the bass wave, enter the, enter the, enter the.
Front to the back. Jump on a jump on a. Front to the back. Jump on a jump on a.
darkness inside of me. I've been following blindly. I am fighting for control, and nobody seems to know. I can't breathe. I'm suffocating. I can't see. I'm at my breaking. I don't know where to go, what to forget about me when you're gone. Only sorry you got caught. Sick of all the lies I've given up. I don't wanna know your love. Leave it all behind and said and done. Looking back at what you've done. Made a mess of everything you touch. Made a mess of everything you touch.
being marched upon in Amashi, um, and then between yeah, so it was. I don't know who actually marched the troops into Mamashi, so I can't say for sure. I'll assume it was Iacid, but you know. Um, but
Sorry,
then,
you were saying who marched what troops into Mamashi?
well, that's what started it, right? Was that the
Valerie
Dallas?
was the one who did it. Yeah.
Oh, Valerie. Okay. Um, and then your post was like, "We're going to war. You're on our monolith. You're on Bone Daddy's
Bone
mega
Daddies.
structure."
Bone Daddy's mega
You're
structure.
on
You heard it
his
here.
bone.
I'm still waking up. Okay, I haven't even.
Nice.
um, but yeah, and then that happened, and I'm like, okay, this is okay. Durin and Bloodlock, this is fine. They'll be fine. And then the caravan thing,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh shit.
It's I honestly am surprised, and I've already ribbed Eric's about this before, but I'm surprised that a war didn't start when Eric's just straight up murdered you. Between
Listen,
an Anorian and Spine's Reach. But I assume that it's only because Kalina has really, really good negotiation skills.
listen.
I mean, we've Honorian and Spine's Reach, we've actually had a really good relationship for a while. So militia doing stuff and things like that, whatever. That actually hasn't been bothering. They individual people doing stuff actually hasn't caused a we don't usually move against that. The reason we were moving against Doran is twofold. One was the um ISID, and then the ISID helping with Copperhead while we were trying to put the city up, and then the 4 people or so who raided into the city while we were doing the cog mine thing. And there was like 11 bodies just unconscious on the floor, and all of like 4 people standing over them. So there was that, and then the final linchpin being the killing the 200 troops we had in Massilia. I was like, motherfuckers.
Listen, and on the topic of when I killed you, first off, I realized entities were attacking you, and I did not expect it to be that easy. And also, we were told to guard Massilia, so that that's just what I was doing. I didn't know nobody else was going to do it, and then it happened.
I wasn't even paying attention. I thought more people were attacking me, so I didn't even.
No, the rest of us were just kind of watching.
Yeah,
Hey, Tiani.
And
Hello.
it was quite
Hi.
funny.
yeah. I I thought it was. I was just trying to get by, so I was
Yeah.
like, "What's happening?" Because
Well,
I didn't attack you back, if you noticed.
I know. Well, like it was really surprisingly fast too, because like, you pretty much beat me up in the fracture that one time, and then I killed you in like 4 or 5 balances, and it was weird. But I know that the entities were attacking you too, so I noticed you cured something you weren't supposed to, you know, in a different order, and then that basically. It was just really bizarre. I was like, I almost felt like you had your curing off for a second, and then I also didn't expect to be the only one attacking you. It was really weird. I don't know. It was not.
Uh,
I don't know. I just thought I was supposed to, so I did. I don't know.
I just saw a large group of people. I saw a lot of afflictions, and I saw I was getting hit, and I'm like, I'm not attacking. I'm just trying to get through this because I was basically assuming that I was going to be ganked by multiple people, so I was not going on the offensive.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we I think and like I've said to Eric before, it's totally like an easy mistake. The only I think it honestly is just like I think if I had not asked Kalina like, are we going to war with Spines Reach, then I might have also have done it. But I had just been talking to her about it like a couple of moments before.
Hmm.
So it was just luck of the draw. Um
No, we've been it. it's been a very specific. The intent was to try to keep Honorian out of the war as much as possible. Um, so when the caravan thing happened and Honorian declared on Bloodlock, I was like, God damn it. Because I had been specifically trying and working to keep Honorian out of the war. I have been.
Who's got the feedback here?
I don't know.
Is it
Yeah,
me?
Oh,
maybe.
I'm not sure.
Blame
But
me. Go on.
yeah, no, I think I think I think if it had wound up being 2 versus 1, that Inorian would have wound up engaging at some point
Oh yeah,
anyway.
no, we knew. We already knew that.
But I definitely understand trying to keep us out of it for as long as is humanly possible.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, I just was like, because no, we specifically tried to. Yeah, we even talked with Kalina and Isia before the Vanguard change, so we were very much. And then so yeah, the 2 versus 1, and then yeah, war.
War.
Yeah.
It's hell.
It never changes. No,
Yeah, right.
What is it good for? You know, like I don't know.
absolutely nothing.
Apparently.
Probably increasing credit purchases.
So the
Yeah, that's true.
our new person in chat that's never played Aetolia would like to know which of the talking people is a vampire.
None.
Yeah, I am not. I am a Templar knight.
Me too. I'm a good guy.
Me too. I mean, what?
What? No, you're not. You're a
I'm
bad
a
guy.
virgin.
You're a bad guy, evil person.
I am the
No,
perfect
I'm
cat.
an innocent Jirani.
You're a frog.
Excuse me, what?
Nothing.
Ribbit.
All of you are maggots.
She's gonna.
Being innocent. I'm sorry. What?
I am though. Super innocent.
No.
Now,
No comment.
Denied.
Durif, Aline can tell a story, but it doesn't have to be in frog unless she wants to. But Aline, if you
Wow.
could honor Durif's story time redemption, you can tell us any kind of story you want from in game, out of game, anything that's
Okay.
on your mind about like a story that you could tell Durif.
One day I went to Jir and found Alayla in the waters. I tried to kill her, it didn't happen. So now I have her as an annoyance. There.
I see. Oh goodness.
Damn it.
Excellent. I am so obsessed with the idea that is just because Alayla has said things in character to that effect, and Rasani's always been like, "Oh, she's exaggerating," but no, no, she sure isn't.
She isn't, no? Gosh.
Oh, what a lovely morning. I'm so glad I got up early for this.
The chat is really filling up though. Like, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
Everybody's
is, yeah, we've got 20 folks here.
I
It
mean,
is the weekend.
if Alayla wakes up and wants to come on, we could have a 6th person in here.
Alayla? No, she just crashed like at
Oh.
7 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know fully that Elena's nuts. As like the character is nuts. Like I know that. That's why I love her. Because she's so off the walls. She fed me lye water. Like I knew that. I just love it.
Aline gets the occasional head pats.
Nice.
She does make the
Yes.
cat more jewelry though, so she has a use.
Excuse me, what? I'm not here to be your jewelry slave.
And why do
I'm
you
gonna
keep
jump
giving
the
me
cat.
more?
Well,
It keeps you
because
occupied.
cat. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's all a
Cats
plan.
love.
That's how she rules both Bloodlock and Spine's Reach. You know.
Yeah, just give them,
Oh,
give the cat a go.
yes, because that endless thread. Oh my god. Uh, Aline is in charge of Spine's Reach, and I went to war for love.
Oh my.
Oh, I heard about that. It's really hilarious
I
for
just
me.
was like, really?
I I, I love the well here's what I'll say. I have cringed multiple times during the shouting in the news post, but that's because I always, like, even in movies, like villain posts or any posturing like that tends to like make me go ugh, just ugh. But like I will say it's been a lot of fun watching it go back and forth because it really just is no you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, that's
Somebody,
fair.
we have a first time chatter, Indigo Sky 06 saying Helen of Troy, and I noticed that your Discord name was Aline of Troy or something. You want to explain that?
Yeah, that's exactly why. It's called Eileen. Eileen, right? Because yeah.
You know what? No, I'm not your Paris. I'm sorry.
Oh
If anything, I'm more of an Achilles, and I need my Patroclus. Okay.
boy,
Wow. Wow, what's this? I hate you.
man.
I'm gonna declare war on your city. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
War
well,
ended
what a
Loblox
twist!
Spines Reach at war.
That would be quite the end to all of it.
That would be
uh,
a riot.
that would be
Mm.
hilarious.
That would be so funny. Oh wow, that would be good.
Well, now you know, okay? Don't piss me off, cat.
Oh my,
I'll
things are
just.
getting
Mm,
spicy
I
in
can
here.
I can still PK you, so shut up.
Uh-uh.
Uh
Cat.
huh.
All right, Eric's go watch them PK. We'll see who wins.
I'm gonna keep farsighting Aline until she's by herself out in the open.
She's doing
Oh,
Flint Beard, I think.
I see.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
you're
Oh
trying
no.
to get the beard, right?
Do you think I look good with a beard? I mean, Eileen.
I
I
I
mean,
mean,
I still love the idea of Eileen going to peace talks with the beard on, being like, "I'm so sorry for my sister's warmongering ways," like just fully trying to be like, "I'm definitely not Eileen. I am her brother."
I
That would be
mean,
hilarious.
Right?
I mean, if she got the beard, it'd be a little bit shorter than the one she has now. So,
oh my.
Oof. Yeah, I will. I will stay here and wait to see the death site.
Oh,
Yes,
excuse me.
head side up.
Yeah, right.
This
Get a drink, get some popcorn, watch it all go down.
this whole show is spiraling into madness, and I don't think I'm even angry at it.
Legend is so dead.
All right, should we get back on topics here, or
Sure.
should we
War,
keep
right?
I
spiraling
don't
into
know which
madness?
topics you've pushed through already, so
Well,
fill me in.
well,
Where are we?
since we have like everyone here now, we could talk a little bit about the topic I wrote about following up on the survey about so the
Oh yeah.
survey came out. I don't know if everybody read it yet, but like everyone
Yeah, I read it.
the polls were in, and like everyone's least favorite system is politics. So I thought maybe we could why do you guys think that everybody hates the politics system or whatever? Um,
I have a theory.
I mean, who likes politics even in real life?
right.
Well, games are supposed to be fun though.
Mm,
As long as you don't take it too seriously.
yeah,
But people do seem to take it seriously, at least in the game.
Other real players, Akazone. I think that's how you pronounce your name.
How do you pronounce that again?
I don't know. I just gave my best shot at it. Don't hate.
Well,
So
my
hey,
theory when it comes to politics is that there's been a lot of metagaming accusations thrown back and forth here and there, and there have been clicks, and there have been a lot of frustration when it comes to trying to navigate the political arena when it comes to the game, both in and outside. And I think a lot of people have lost sight of what it is that leadership should be doing in the game, which is basically to try to make sure that the game is fun for those around them.
Yeah.
So, in a
Yeah.
sense, it's probably something about, all the meta that drags it down, or potential accusations of favoritism or clicking or um, metagaming in general just makes it difficult for people.
Yeah. I think there's different ways to look at it too. I think one thing that politics, especially if you like, you're in the your city's government for a long time, it can really lead to like burnout and like disliking the game. Just because it's so generally so thankless for a lot of people,
Mm,
and like
I was
we've
gonna
talked
say,
about before, and
yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it. It's like people that have been in politics, and then aren't anymore. It's like they usually have a reason for that, and it usually is something negative, unfortunately. So
Mhm.
Burnout is really common with politics. I think there's also I think it's a matter of how do I word this? It's there's this assumption that comes with politics, unfortunately, sometimes.
Mhm.
The assumption of, well, because you are, of herald, or you're one of the throne keepers or whatever, you need to be available to me 24/7, and
Mm,
this and that.
yeah,
And I think that unfortunately is another problem, that because that's not so much a thing that the system imposes, it's this misconception that some players have, that because you in a text game have said, yes, I will help lead the city, that you suddenly are going to put everything on hold because of some kind of text game city dispute. And or not even a dispute, sometimes it's just like, I got somebody when I was Vanguard who was pissed at me for
Mhm.
being I took a day off to go do something with my buddies. I come back the next day, I have like 5 messages about how they were trying to redeem credits and they were pissed that I wasn't online to give them their credits. I was like, dude, it's a text game, like, you gotta chill. Me being Vanguard does not entitle you to every single hour of my time.
No,
So I think
Yeah.
that
Agree.
unfortunately there are just some players who are gonna feel like that.
right.
no, I know that 100%. I mean, I've been running into that with just this war, in fact, because my for the end of the year, my work has gotten busy, and it's like there's been a lot happening, and I haven't had as much time to log in as I have been in the past. And
Right.
typically, a couple days in a row of not being able to log in isn't that big of a deal, but like you're the city
Mhm.
leader, you're
Yep.
supposed to make time in your day to come lead the city, and it's like, no, it's a fucking game. I'm busy with my real life. It's busier right now. I
Yeah.
do when I'm logged in, the time that I have to log in, I accept and will partition time to lead the city and do that kind of stuff when I'm have the time to play. But I'm not going to rearrange my real life to
no, no, no.
make time for the game,
Well,
no matter what position I have.
I'm going to confess about something here because my character actually had a discussion with the senators in Spines Reach about this particular thing, and it was more about why did we go to war when no one is fit to lead it, sort of. So the discussion was basically saying, "Hi, my character is frustrated because there seemed to be a lot of um messing around, and why did we even go into this war if the leadership barely participates and just declares war and disappears, or declares wars and is not there? They made the decision that everyone shouldn't be involved in this. We could have perhaps tried to negotiate further and just, whatever to get the
Pretty sure
timers roll
negotiations
out
were tried.
because no one seems to be interested in Spine's Reach to actually participate, and we don't have a Minister of War. So, in character, my character was frustrated about that. For me, I am completely on board with people having lives. It's Christmas time, seriously. So, I'm hoping that no one took that, as me out of characterly trying to bash people for not being
Mm,
around.
no, if anything, it's so there was a lot that happened before the declaration of war. Like there was a lot of discussion. There was a lot of back and forth with Katria. There was back and forth with Aline and the Throne Keepers. There was back and forth with Honorian. We I did everything I could to keep Spine's Reach out of the war, but then we reached a point where when I was just moving around between places and looking at our troops and interacting with our war, and then Durin went and destroyed two full divisions. Like I Sealy, I could not do something and just sit there. Like I
Yeah, I don't
knew,
think you could have just not done anything. They kind of
yeah,
bashed the troops for no reason except paranoia.
yeah. So while I
No,
knew we weren't ready to go full offensive, we had to make some gesture. We had to make some response because already there was plenty of other frustration on the other side, regardless of the fact of who was there, of people who were like, why didn't we already go to war for what they did during the Copperhead event?
Yeah.
So that
I
on
mean,
top of that, if we had done nothing, it would have looked like that, you know, the leadership at that point doesn't care that we're actually being assaulted so strongly. So we'd already talked a lot with Bloodlock and to what we could do, and while we did go to war, it was already known that we were basically going to be support, and even our troop movements were 1,000% just supporting Bloodlock to be the offensive one. So we were auxiliary,
yeah.
and we continue to be. So
Yeah, but that's the thing that my character did not understand. And I mean, I can have all the discussions here out of character about this, and my character will be none the wiser because she will not understand this until it actually is explained in game. For right now, in character, my character is basically saying, okay, we went to war. You had a lot of discussions. We haven't really seen a lot of those discussions, but I'm sure you've had some. It would be good with clarity in that sense. And we went to war instead of being supportive. Couldn't we just have made a pact or an alliance without declaring war? That's basically the last thing she said. Um, couldn't we, if we are in this just support instead of declaring? Because then we could have waited to declare war until we actually had a minister of war to sort of see through this. Also, minister of
yeah.
war position right now is sort
Well,
of no one's touched it with a 10-foot pole, and since Fezix was there, or
this
Talos.
is this is probably Spine's Reach stuff that should be talking about taken
Yeah,
in character, honestly. So,
yeah.
uh,
But just explaining my character's view of it, it feels like the war. Not really. Every person in Spine's Reach might not be on board with why we actually joined in.
no,
So my
100%.
character's not even in the militia because she was like,
I
no.
read news posts that actually talked about it. I'm pretty sure that Saddam would have actually posted some because I was told about that anyway. But yeah, I mean, war is a big thing. I don't think it was probably done without any, you know, information beforehand. But yeah.
well, on topic, I just wanted to give a lean if you're interested in talking about like why you think politics did so poorly in that poll in general, like as somebody that's been in politics for a long time. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Mm, oh my gosh, 1 second. Um, thoughts about it. To be
Yeah, I
fair,
don't
I've
know.
been out of politics for a long time. I haven't actually wanted to get involved because leadership is a very taxing thing in this game. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I guess people really hate the dramas that come along with politics, especially in Bloodlock. Um, yeah, and I can totally understand that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just
Pretty
thought it
much.
was
Yeah.
interesting, and I think that it's interesting that everybody seems to have a different like perspective and opinion on it.
I I think with politics, what it comes down, at least for a lot of people, and it was for me too, in the times I've gotten involved and not involved, is it one the amount of time it can take up because once you're involved in politics, it can definitely eat up a lot of your playtime. So you're like, I just wanted to log in, fish, design, bash, PK, whatever, but there's something going on. I'm involved in politics as a leader, either minister or city leader. So instead of doing what I want to do, now I'm involved in this, so I have to do this. Then there's and even I see, like, even if we're not worried about metagaming or anything like that, people do a lot of, like, their characters do a lot of stuff that, yes, you accept that it's entirely IC, but it doesn't mean that it can't leave you a little frustrated when you're watching someone, create rumors or, deliberately lie or undermine what your character's attempting to do.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if you're putting a lot of time into that, like you've gone and you've created an event or uh, especially because I'm sure any of us who've been in politics have had a situation where you've gone in, you've created an event, you've worked hard on something, you get somebody else involved, and suddenly they're posting about it and acting like they came up with the idea with your help. And you're like, wait a second, motherfucker, that's not your idea. But now
Right.
they've already posted about it. They're already talking about it with people while you weren't around. And you're like, and again, that's 100% a valid thing to do IC. However, it doesn't, you can still get some of that frustration of what those characters are doing. So it's again, those frustrations that can come with just socialization and doing things like this. And we accept their icy actions, but that doesn't mean that it can't affect us.
Mm.
I was just typing to that individual in the chat. Well, actually, this is a random question I have because I'm not sure about the Shadow City stuff. Do both Shadow Cities have a city point system like Spirit does?
Yes. Pretty
Hmm.
sure yes.
Yeah,
How do
we have.
how do Spines Reaches operate and how does Bloodlocks operate in that area?
Um, I mean, for Spines Reach, we of course have our ULM system. Um, Lessers have points, majors, Ori. I actually added a point category also for Fury attacks.
Oh, cool.
In dealing with those. Mines are also counted, and you can redeem the points for things like credits, city favors, gold, ULM crystals.
We
Then
also have a grant system where you can actually request funds from the city to purchase specific stuff that helps the city.
yep, we
Yep.
we have a grant system for like the goggles and gauntlets. So even though it's buried in the help files a little bit, but you can ask on CT and a research or research aid will, you know, they pay for your gauntlet. They explain how to use it, the goggles, and how to use it and stuff like that. So you can contribute that way.
Mm-hmm.
We used to sponsor. We used to have a grant for paying for the 10K to learn refining.
Norian
Um,
has that, yeah.
and we still have credit grants that you can apply for, but that requires an application of what you need them for, what you're needing to learn, how it's going to contribute to the city, what you're going to use that specifically for to give back to the republic, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Wh-
and seasonals. Lastly, we count ELM overall each season and give out a seasonal point, which is can be redeemed for gold credits or and you can get up to 4 points depending upon how much you contribute.
What are the because I'm always fascinated about this. What are the city points called? Are they just called city points?
Lesser points for everything that's for mines, lessers, majors, and stuff like that, and then
Yeah, same.
seasonals are seasonal points.
Oh, okay, interesting. Because
Do you guys call it differently?
well, I know Durin calls
Oh
their city
God,
point.
don't.
I don't
I
want to
know
hear
what's
it.
coming.
I don't want to hear it because of all the things you've said, Rosani. But I was
I
gonna
I
know,
say.
heard
so bad.
coffins or something.
So
Nah, not coffin.
Durin calls theirs acorns, which is kind of cute.
Oh my god. What
Um,
the hell?
so we've always
Hmm.
just called ours city points, and then I came up with a new name for them that like is funny, but like Isia hated. So I won't mention it. I'll be nice to Rosani, but I came up with kind of a silly
No,
name
you
for
can
our
go
city
ahead.
points.
I'll just rib you for it.
No, it's okay. We'll let Aline talk about the city points. I'm curious, like is your city point system? Are they also called city points? Like,
They're just called foci points. So we only record points for lesser, major, minor, and ori. That's about it. And then we have a different system for the YLM. That's on. It's just called uh YLM essence and stuff like that. We don't have like a special name for it.
okay,
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, really. We have like uh YLM price points. So the minimum that you have to hit is like 5,000 to get like some random thing. It's not a lot, but the moment you get like 25,000, you can get at least gold from the city. We reward more for the foci points. Yeah, reward more for the foci points. But of course, we haven't really been doing any foci things. So uh, yeah. Not a lot of people have been redeeming them lately.
gotcha. I just find it
Mm.
interesting how like all the city point systems were made up by players, but they're all like a little different from each other. But like you would think that there'd be I don't know. I just find that very interesting that it was something that we all did a little differently that we came up with. Um, and I think that speaks to the good parts of the political system in the game too. That you can actually come up with good things like that. Politics doesn't have to all be negative, but since even though Rosani spoiled it in chat, I will explain the name for the city points. So like as as research minister, I'm the one that tallies our city points every 7 days, every week. And I got tired of them being called city points because that's kind of bland. And then like there's this inside joke, at least that I've seen, that a lot of times when people say beacon on CT, like people think that they're saying bacon. So so one day I was like, what if we call the city points beacon bits?
Oh,
I'm
that's
I'm
awesome.
surprised. I'm surprised Izzy didn't like
Oh, come on.
cast you
Yeah.
out.
So there's this thing where
Yes.
uh, I'm always trying to get
He
them
said he
to
couldn't
rename
force
the
it.
city points to
Seriously.
beacon bits, and like literally Isia and Zavin got to the point where they're like, can you just not say that anymore? And I was like, man, I'm just trying to like bring some light to people's day, like it's kind of funny, it's fun, like
Enforce
I
it.
don't know.
Enforce it. Come on. Seriously.
I mean, and as soon as Kalina took Vanguard, my first tell to her was like, can I have beacon bits now?
Izzy hated that.
Yeah.
Zavin did too. Probably they do still hate it.
Yes.
So I don't know why I'm using the past tense, but
Right.
they definitely hate it. Um, I don't think that there is a I don't think there's an issue with changing the name of city points. I think that
Oh man.
I think I think people didn't like beacon bits because there's a certain line that people tend to walk in Aetolia between being kind of goofy and being taking it very
I
seriously,
see.
and I would imagine that that's where the issue came in. I don't particularly care. I just would have like, uh, you know, I would have just ragged on Eric's for saying.
Oh gosh.
um, but I think that that's probably where the yeah, particularly when you're dealing with a place like Enorian, which historically people have called snuggly or whatever. It's I think that that's probably where the irritation with it came in.
Well, I was just sad that it never even got to go to a vote. They just shut it down with no vote, but that's neither here
Um,
nor there, but it's
well,
okay.
I
Beacon
think
Bits
Saren
lives
brings
on in
up
my
a
heart.
yeah, I mean, as in your heart, they can always be beacon bits.
That's right.
That's where it matters.
Exactly. So, you know,
Mm.
I
even
also do think it's funny that the idea that Eric's the super serious character keeps really trying to get it to catch on, and everybody's like, "No, calm down." That is really funny to me. That this very serious and like stern character is like, "No, beacon bits," and everybody's like, "No, you stop.
listen,
Pick something else to be funny about."
there's still an underground movement for Beacon Bits, all right? Because I don't say it often in like clans or CT anymore, but like I'll say it in tells to people and stuff just casually. Like the other day, it actually took me about like 3 days because of the war to like get time to tally the city points, which is really
Right.
unusual for me. So like on the third day, I was like telling Kalina, I'm like, I haven't had a lot of time to do the beacon bits this cycle, so. And she didn't even say anything about it. She's like, "Oh, it's okay. There's been a war," so she accepts it. You remember that the city leader accepts it now, and that's the last thing
Yeah.
I'm gonna say about it.
Keep at it. Keep at it.
Okay. So anyway, we talked a bit about
Mm.
politics. Obviously, Tiani and Saidin came in late, but we did talk about the war a little bit in the middle of all that.
Yep.
Do we? I don't know if you guys have had the inclination or the time to do it yet, but have you done the Flint Beard event this year yet?
I have not, but
I,
I'm hoping that I will get a chance to do it at some point.
mm-hmm. Same.
I
Sure you can.
I haven't done it yet. I might. I don't like bashing. So I may do it, but it's not really on my top 10 list of things to do.
Gotcha.
And honestly, even more than that, I kind of during this war, I kind of feel an obligation as security minister and master at arms to be ready to be on the offensive whenever it's needed.
Yeah.
So part of that is me just staying near the city in case something happens.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've been bashing. So I think I've gained in 1 week. I've gained 7 levels or something.
Dang.
Nice. Right
Nice.
on.
I'm up at 150 now, so starting to feel the
Yeah.
pressure
I
a
uh
bit.
I tried to bash a little bit earlier before you got here, and then I got stream sniped.
Hey, to be fair, I saw the goggle scan, okay, before you entered instance.
Uh huh.
So I was like, hey, let's go give him a surprise.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then you got Saren to deliver you anyway, so
So
yeah.
yeah,
I didn't
this
get
is why
them to
I'm
do
not
that.
in the militia, so I don't have to worry about getting jumped.
Yeah. But there's some things
Yeah.
we could kind of mention in chat here. I know that it's pretty well known that Rowan is Saren. Speaking of Saren, Saren has a lot of
Mhm.
opinions about politics and the war, and like we talked about before, older players having a different like approach to it than newer ones and stuff. Given
Yep,
that
yep.
there's emotional
True.
baggage, from the way previous wars have went and things like that. I know that you probably weren't in here when we talked about that earlier. I think Sadin, Tiani both. Um, but we can talk about that a little bit if you want, or we can talk about Flintbeard some more.
What was
Already
the?
tried it. It's better to move on, I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with moving on.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, yeah, in regards to Flintbeard, why it says Flintbeard is fun because it's not just tank and spank, which is the best, and that is true. Um, in fact,
So many mechanics in this shit. Yeah.
one of the boss encounters, the Stooges, is literally you don't attack anything, you just move around. Uh,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah,
It can
Yeah.
be pretty infuriating. What I can say is that it's really bad for people who are vision impaired because they can't see
Yeah,
the map at all.
that's true. Yeah.
And
Oof.
the only way that they can know if there's flames in the room is if they walk in it. So
Oh,
I tried to do it with Wirren. Wow, we got really frustrated because it's difficult for him.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Right.
I can imagine that.
Yeah. So that's probably one of my gripe for Flimpbeard, but otherwise the rest is fine actually. Even the Grinch. The Grinch is fun. The Grinch is fun.
I've seen a lot of people getting
Killed by that.
annihilated by the Grinch.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did it for the
Yeah, it's
first time
because
last
they
night.
spawn.
Well, it's weird because everybody was like, "Oh, this is so difficult," and like I did die once, but like once I came back, like me, Kalina, and Ryan were doing it, and it wasn't really that bad in my opinion. I don't know, but
Yeah, it's not that bad actually.
like you just
Also,
have
if
Weiren's
to.
you
trumpet. Like
Mhm.
Wyatt brought up Weiren's trumpet. Absolutely a huge fan of the trumpet.
I
I'm
hate the freaking trumpet, okay?
I'm such a
He
huge
keeps
fan of
playing
this.
the heck out of it.
I'm such a big fan of this guy who cannot play the trumpet in the middle of a war, threatening to poorly play the trumpet at his enemies. I love it. I think it again. It's one of those things that I think adds a lot of
It's
flavor to the
hilarious as
world.
stuff.
It's so
And he
good.
shouts, man. His shouts are like shouts are terrible. Oh my god, sometimes he embarrasses me. Oh gosh.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay, all the time. It's fine. Oh, he's gonna hate me if he hears this. Ah, gosh.
He's great. I got to RP with him a little bit during the Confluence event.
Mhm.
Um and I will occasionally get a tell from him being like, "Hey, you coming over to the Carnifex?" And I'm like, "You're barking up the wrong tree." Like, sorry, buddy.
Why not? I mean, in the current effects, you can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want, huh? Just
Yeah.
You
just
can
You
anything.
want to smack people with a book? Sure.
you can create a keg warhammer. It's a long handle with kegs on either side of it that you use to beat people to death.
Oh my.
Holy shit, that sounds great.
That does sound great, actually.
Actually,
Um,
you have to do it
I
now.
knew
First.
Asami would jump on that.
yeah, that
Yeah.
does sound really. I don't really often use a warhammer,
Huh.
but maybe I'll have to have a warhammer route just so that I can beat people with kegs. If I will say this, if Warden had been anything else but having ancestors, and again, like I've said this before, like it's not a class for me. It's for the people who that RP means a lot to.
Mhm.
If it had still been dogs, like I probably would have picked up Warden because the War Gauntlets are so fucking cool.
what about
War
war?
Gauntlets are awesome.
What about war gauntlets that have kegs on them, and then you can just punch people with kegs?
I honestly, if I'd been able to do War Gauntlets, my first feeling was and again I've harped on this as well too. Um, if anybody's watched Arcane, the big Hex Tech gauntlets, that would have been what I would have made if I'd had Warden. Big, huge gauntlets that like the that would have been so cool. If somebody is playing Warden and wants big Hex Tech gauntlets, let me know. I'll craft them.
Nice. Yeah.
They're so cool.
I like everyone else, I haven't had a lot of time to do crafting, but I've had several ideas of things I want to make recently. Because I actually before the war started, I just randomly decided to get tailoring finally, and I haven't done a single design with it yet. But like I'm feeling really inspired by all the shouts and quotes from people to like make T-shirts out of some of these crazy things that people have been saying and doing.
What?
So
Tell us some of those.
I don't know, like some of the crazy stuff that Nipsey does and shouts and things like that, and Weirin and Alayla and all the I don't know. I just think it would be fun. Also, like I kind of wanted to make a T-shirt for Nipsey, of I got no mercy, but gnome, no mercy. at the Red
No
Lion.
mercy, holy crap,
Yeah,
guys.
I told Nipsey or I DM'd Nipsey and was like, I'm gonna make a T-shirt that says I got no mercy at the Red Lion for when he tried to attack me at my shop or whatever. I don't know, just stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
god.
I like doing stuff like that. I like actually crafting when like there's something that inspires me to do something cool. You know
You guys and your puns, I swear.
what? What do you mean? There's nothing wrong with that. We do pun competitions on CT all
Uh,
the time, and I always
oh
win them.
my gosh.
Always,
Always?
always.
Okay.
We
Oh gosh.
our gods will go on there and be like, amuse me with some puns, and like Slife went on there and wanted water puns one time. That was fun.
I think
Nautical puns.
Slife's the only one that's ever asked for puns.
I don't know. Don't ruin the story, Rosani. They
And
all want puns.
I got a blessing from Slife for oh god, what was it was a good one too. Slife loved it, and I can't remember what it was. Um, shit. I give me a minute. I'll remember it.
Too early to remember?
It's yeah, right. It really is.
Uh,
uh,
Life's done some really crazy stuff with his order people. I think he dunked Rashar in whiskey once. That
Damn.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was really saturated in it. Huh? Huh? Yeah.
the worst.
uh,
Terrible. It's
Oh
not
man,
I
funny.
it
I
is.
remember
What? Go
I
ahead.
remember when he took out Phoenicia's tongue.
Oh, that's brutal.
And he gave it to another order member.
Oh,
Wow. Brutal.
yeah, that's
But
rough.
that's old life, right? I don't know much
Oh, I
about the
don't know
new
about
one.
this current one. I don't know.
Yeah.
This was a
There's
while
an
ago.
older slip that sent Tiani down into the bottom of the ocean at one point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, I
it was
ate a
kind of fun.
veal.
Yes.
But
I
Slife
mean,
is
my
Go
my
ahead.
only interaction with this life is just the whale, basically.
Oh no.
Damn whale.
Seriously, I didn't even earn it. It was Iosine, and she was like, "Yeah, it's her." Like, stupid gods. Anyway.
Stupid gods. How dare they? Nah, every time I see Slife recently, it's like they're kind of like swooping in like Superman and saving us. So whether it be out on the like seeing it out on the ocean when some of us were crewing the Dawnbreaker during the event, that was really cool because we were like surrounded by these like what were they, krakens or something, or leviathans is what it was.
Leviathans.
Yeah.
Did you manage to get screenshots of those?
Susie posted, I'll pass on VR, I'm not a gamer nerd. So jabs on a glacier, lunges on a volcano, and getting the best workout of your life is for gamer nerds? Come on, Susie.
We were nonstop firing at them though with the bomb throwers, and we were killing them too. You could actually kill them with the ship, but they would just spawn faster than you could kill them.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
but yeah, Slife showed up during that. Slife also showed up at the very beginning when the dock was attacked. Slife's kind of like our city guardian, it seems.
Isn't it your patron? I suppose
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty cool. But yeah, also there's a topic I always have on here that's kind of just stories from the week, which is like, to me it's just like anything that struck you all out of the ordinary, or that you really like any kind of small thing that might have happened, or any kind of like run of the mill thing that happened to you during the weekend game that you would want to talk about or mention. I don't know if you all have
Fine
any
Fish
stories
did
like that.
the Spyron Ball of Defiance, I think, yesterday.
There you go.
Didn't go for that. I heard it was pretty fun.
That's what I heard too. I was busy getting drunk with friends.
I
Hell
see.
yeah.
so I wasn't there.
I didn't go
So
because
no one here
I'm
went.
I'm
I'm
enemy.
me. I'm not enemied, but I'm also I'm part of the
Hey,
militia
where's
and
the
I am who I am.
confidence? Just walk right in there.
I've been enemy to Spine's Reach for I don't know how long, and nobody will tell me when my because it is for something I did real life years ago. And
Oh,
there's no indication of a fine to pay. There's no indication of when it's done.
Yeah.
They've just
vandalism.
decided that they don't want me there. Uh, Bloodlock has
Actually,
me.
the listing is vandalism.
Oh.
Uh,
What did you vandalize? Holy
Vandalism,
crap.
because I don't
Yep.
think I. I don't think I. What would I have done that I put vandalism?
You know
It
what you
It,
was
did.
so long ago though.
Set up a poster or
481.
something.
I- if if the only thing I can think of is the same thing that Bloodlock has animated for, which is putting up posters for my tavern.
I
I
think
Bloodlock
that's it.
it wants me to
Um,
pay 100,000 gold for putting up a poster for my tavern, and I I promptly said I don't fucking think so. So I
Actually,
will
fine is nothing.
I
So
will remain enemied if that is the
Right.
yeah,
case.
it doesn't say anything about a fine. So
No, Bloodlocks has the fine. I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
Spines Reach does. Spines Reach is just I'm
Really?
enemied. Yeah. A hundred
It's
thousand gold
okay.
for
We
putting up a
updated it.
poster.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's okay. You earn your 100k now by raiding.
Hmm.
Yes, that makes more sense. 100k gold for rating makes way more sense. Because
definitely.
I thought I was enemy to Spines Reach for trying to kill Cannavara. Because I did do that in Spines Reach.
Well, that would have
She's,
made sense, but
yeah,
Oh,
she said
that gets brought
something.
up. That gets brought up a lot whenever Rasani's name is mentioned. So
Is me trying to kill Cannavara years ago.
Nice.
yes.
yeah.
Years and years ago.
The thing is that
Wonderful.
yeah, she's had a lot of trouble up in Spine's Reach because it's been a lot of drama around and the characters killing and shouting matches and
Just
insults
surprised
left and
it's
right that has sort of made it, there's a reason why you were attacked, sort of thing.
yeah, I'm just surprised it's still brought up because this was I have to say at least 3 real life years ago that this happened.
Yeah, so
I would say that it has to at least have been that long.
real
Uh,
life years.
real life years, yeah.
The
Um,
hilarious thing is, I'm actually looking, and vandalism isn't even part of our penal code charges at the moment.
Nice.
Oh no,
yeah,
there it is. There it is. There it is.
found it.
I found it.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
The,
okay.
and it says
Yeah,
note.
I
Note. This
you
only
know,
exists because of Rosani. That's what it
you know,
says.
It
I
sure does.
it's all good. And you know what? I'm flattered that my attempt on her life is still being talked about, I guess. Um
that the
Never forget.
posters would be considered a vandalism simple crime, so you would probably just have been given a fine or something. Slap on the wrist, go home,
yeah,
don't do that
it's
again.
it's all good. The only reason I ever think of it is every city has gems that only that city has. So
Yeah,
sometimes I want craft them, but I usually just ask somebody else to go get them. Even people who live in that city are usually pretty good if I go, "Hey, I'm not welcome. Can I pay you to get me this gem?"
Yeah, helping city enemies.
oh
Yeah,
my
My
some
god.
heart.
Oh
No.
no.
people have helped me get gems. Or like I don't know who it
Say
was.
it
It was
isn't
one
so.
of it was some Spines Reach like semi newbie. I don't know if they even play anymore, but it was ages ago. And I asked for because you guys have Azurite, and I really like using Azurite. I think it's a really beautiful stone.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, but they were people are usually pretty good when you're like I just want to craft something like sorry I don't mean to be a pain. And I'll do it too if people ask because like it is frustrating when you want to craft with something, but like it's only available in a city that you can't get into.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, even if Sidon knew, he wouldn't care. He'd be like, "Well, you're giving. I mean, you're city enemy, but you're giving us gold, so
That's all fine. Business is business. That's a whole different thing.
he's very much a, if it isn't really hurting anything, he looks the other way. Like,
Right, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think crafting is one of those things that, unless I was like, hey, can you get me whatever stone it is you have? I want to make a big uh middle finger to put in Severn's temple. Then they're probably going to be like, well, wait a minute now. I don't think we're going to help you with that.
John.
Nice.
Kiani would definitely not help you with that one.
Definitely not.
So, something about Sidon makes me think he'd be like, I don't really want to help you, but I will say that takes balls to do it.
he would ask. He'd be like, and why? Tell me more. Like, and what's
Just
it?
grab a
And
chair.
why?
Why don't you tell me?
And why this specific stone? Is it only because it's in Spine's Reach, or is there something specific to your
Do you just like
relationship
the
with
way the
Severn?
light catches it? Like,
I'm curious.
Can we
uh,
dissect this, please?
He is an
excellent.
archivist. What can I mean? He's an archivist. He has questions about everything.
Fair enough.
Well,
Fair enough. That's why I liked Karyutera. I don't know if he
Yeah.
plays anymore, but he is also very much like that, where like no matter what is happening, he wants to ask a million questions.
He pops in
Mhm.
now and again, but he's really busy with real life. So
Absolutely. He's a delight. He's a very nice guy. I'm a big
yeah,
Oh
fan
yeah.
of him.
well, one thing I wanted to mention real quick
Definitely.
is there's I if this is accurate, there's about 20 people in viewing the stream. There's only 6
Mhm.
people that have entered the giveaway for the week. So
Ticket.
if
So
anybody wants to enter
exclamation
the
mark ticket.
giveaway, just type exclamation ticket and you will have a chance to win 50 credits in game. Also, and I didn't tell anyone this beforehand, but I'll mention it now, and we'll do this in a little while. We're gonna do 5 more giveaways today, and they're gonna
5
be,
more.
but they're not gonna be for credits. They're going to be for stockings.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
cool.
ooh,
The person who donated 1,000 credits to the stream that we've been using for months now is also willing to hang 5 stockings anonymously as well. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do 5 giveaways, and I'll record the names that win, and then I'll tell them once we're off stream, and they'll hang stockings anonymously.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Shadow for that, because that is a Shadow person that is doing that.
oh,
What a nice
nice.
person.
Um,
Hey, give me more.
but yeah, one story that I wanted to tell from the week is that this war, as much as everybody talks about it, like I really feel like it does have the potential to have little moments that are interesting, like roleplay wise. So like I was
Mhm.
or just like interacting with people and having fun in general. Like me and Nipsey goes back and forth with everyone, even me and stuff. And then I decided to switch to sis in class, and then the other night I followed Nipsey, and like Bloodlock in general phased, and
Mhm.
Nipsey ended up back at Westgate with Bullrock, and I was just standing there with both of them for like 30 minutes, and then Bullrock
Mhm.
logged off, and then I followed Nipsey, and Nipsey went to a shop, so there was only one exit. So then I tried to kill him after all that waiting, and he immediately got away somehow, obviously. But then we went, then I went back to Honorian, and then I messaged him like a gif of like me creeping on him, like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Commando creeping around the corner. It was pretty funny. And then like he DM'd me back with the that gif of that dude that does like the peace symbol and then disappears. Um, stuff
Mhm.
like that is just amused me about all this war stuff. I think I've kind of taken it a bit lightheartedly compared to some people, but I enjoyed that. And then I also got to role play a little bit with Maeve. I was just like talking to her in character, in person, about the war
Mhm.
stuff, and like warning her not to get involved with it. And it's always fun, like
Mhm.
when you actually get to interact with shadow people, and it's not just
Hmm.
PvP. So I don't know.
I will
That's a couple
give
things
a
that happened to me this week.
I will give a shout out to overall for Bloodlock, because so the response from Bloodlock of so many people just being like, I've never PK'd in my life, but my city's at war. Let's go kill some bitches. And it's been absolutely like amazing, just the turnout for Bloodlock, and
Actually, I
how
was pretty surprised too because like we haven't really been doing like lessons and stuff, not even Oris, and like there's a war and suddenly everyone's like, yeah, let's go kill
Right.
creatures.
yeah, well, and it's united, and this is the first time you guys have been like united because I mean, Bloodlock's been kind of at war with itself for a while. Just saying. I don't know.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah, that's always been true though. Even going back
That's
15 years
Bloodlock
ago,
culture. Yeah.
as an old player in Bloodlock, I was around when the Infernals originally were allowed to join Bloodlock. That was a big deal back then. That was like forever ago, but they always seem to be kind of at war with each other. That's just like their thing, I think. But it is cool that
Mhm.
they can come together to have fun and like fight in this war. That
So this conflict has really given us reason to bristle at each other a little bit, even after when peace eventually comes, hopefully someday, um, in
Mhm.
like 20 years. But no, um,
no.
but
Please. 20 years.
Oh God.
um, but
Sounds good.
no,
Let's do.
it's
No.
but it's it's given us a reason to because I from an IC perspective, it was pieces enjoyable and stuff like that, but at the same time from an OOC perspective, I'm looking at it and I'm like, we're so all of us are so comfortable and in a game where things are supposed to be happening and it's supposed to be tense at times and stuff like that. This just feels too relaxed for a world that's quote unquote at war. Um, so
Mhm.
this has really added some of that conflict energy back in that I think we've been missing for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
totally agree.
and while Eileen is distracted and can't stream snipe me, I went ahead and went into my mind. So I'm gonna do that now.
I
Good luck
I
finding me.
I definitely think that
Hmm.
I I don't think, well, how do I sorry, I'm still on medication they gave me, so it's a little bit hard to articulate. But I think that there's definitely a part of it where it's like, okay, we didn't have any conflict or story for a very long time, so people are unused to it. Um, but I don't think, like, I keep hearing people say, or seeing people say rather, that there are people complaining and straining against the war, and I'm not really seeing that from where I am on Spirit. Like, there are people
Oh.
who are like, I kind of would like it to
I'm
be
dead.
over before Christmas, so
Hey,
that
you
we're
died.
I did,
we're not
Womp
sitting
womp.
here.
but I killed all of them.
Oof, yikes. So like,
Continue.
I think that there are plenty of people who would kind of like it to be over before Christmas because there are a lot of people who are familiar, from my understanding, with the
Yeah, I died too.
Achaean holiday raids, is I guess what they're called. I guess people
Let's
in
see.
Achaea will very frequently see who can get done with Christmas first, so that they can go and kill every city's guards or something.
What?
So I can understand people wanting
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. You're right.
be like, hey, we don't really want to deal with that, so we would like it if at least there's a ceasefire over the holidays. I think that that's totally fine and acceptable. But I keep seeing people be like, oh, everybody's complaining and straining against. And from what I see on Spirit, there really isn't that going on. Like, everybody is like, we even have people who are disappointed when we don't get a fight for the day. Like, so I guess I just don't see where the complaining and straining is happening. Um, I don't sort of, I mean, I saw that clusterfuck on the forums, but that I think is
Oh yeah,
more.
I saw that too.
I think that that's more akin to what um Eric's and other folks were saying, that they don't necessarily like that people who've been playing for a long time keep bringing up old shit that happened about 8 real life years ago. Like, I think that that is more the problem that we're seeing with this war, is that people expect it to go the way that it has always gone. Um, why do troops block caravans that's just punching the non-PKers? Again, I haven't heard that. So if you're hearing that, like, I don't know who you're hearing it from.
Mhm.
But that's not anything that was said in any web I've been a part of this whole war, or anything like that. Like, you know, it, it we haven't really, unless you're talking people out of character and they're saying one thing somewhere and saying a different thing another place.
Mhm.
It came up on Discord. I don't pay as much attention to the official Discord,
Mhm.
I guess,
Me
but
either.
like, I'll jump in if an interesting topic comes up, but like, um but yeah, I'm not seeing all the complaining that I am hearing that people say there is. And I'm not seeing the somebody brought up, somebody on forums, I'm not going to name names, but it's easy enough to go back and look. There are certain people who keep bringing up the quote unquote victim mentality, and again, I haven't seen anybody on Spirit say that they're a victim.
Right.
I have seen them say, "Hey, this happened, so we escalated things." But that is not. I don't feel that that's them playing a victim mentality. So I think that people are expecting these things to happen when they haven't happened yet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a
That's
good
true.
way to put it at the end there.
Hmm.
There and when people say that, like in the web or in the forums or whatever, it's like, why can't you just let things happen as they're going to, instead of just assuming the worst? Like, but I
Yeah.
understand that's just people in general in life. But it's like, I don't know. I just think it's disappointing to be like, well, this thing happened, 4 producers ago in a whole different time and a whole different set of circumstances. But let's just assume the worst of everyone involved, even though it's
I
all
I
different
will
now.
I will say this, and I had a discussion recently with somebody who has characters on, has like alts where one's on Spirit, one's on Shadow, and we had a very interesting conversation, and I um we had a conversation where it definitely is like, there are some things that happen a long time ago that you can't let go of. And this is just like a trigger warning to anybody who doesn't like, you know,
Mhm.
crass language or whatever. But the first character I tried to make was a character in Shadow Side. And 30 minutes into playing this character, a player who no longer plays, while I was trying to help with a lesser, called everybody in a web a faggot. And as a gay person,
Mm.
it was like, oh, so that's what we're dealing with over here. Now, that person doesn't play anymore, but some people who let that person use that language still do play. So there are some things like that where I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to be a little bit wary of things. But I also know that Shadow has done a lot of really good and difficult work to try and make sure that that kind of stuff isn't allowed anymore. And I can
Hmm.
tell already by side and just that noise you made, I
Yeah.
can already tell that that wouldn't fly anymore.
No.
No,
So that's
no.
fantastic. I think that that's great. But I do bring it up because, like, I want to express, and I didn't realize it until after I had this conversation with a player who I very much respect. And I had this conversation with her about it, where I realized that I was letting this bad experience that I had
Mhm.
overshadow everything that
Right.
may have changed since then. And it
Yeah.
absolutely makes sense that I would hang on to that, because there's trauma around being called a slur.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
There's
I
definitely.
shouldn't let it continue to paint my view of a whole half of the game just because it happened to me a long time ago. So
Well,
I would
one
encourage
person did it from that.
exactly, you know, and I can I can even understand people who still play that let him do it, that were maybe like me so stunned that it happened that they couldn't think of how to be